Well, everybody, hello and welcome to yet another stellar edition of Dr. C's Corner. I'm off cam right now because I have something that I'd like to share and just kind of change up the delivery a little bit. And as always, thank you for those who have subscribed and responded with some great feedback on all the topics that I've been covering to the best of my ability to help all of you and to humanize who we are since really the beginning of the pandemic. But it's been successful, so we'll just keep them going no matter what. And I want to again thank you all for the great participation, the great investment of energy and time that you're committing to your class studies, and on behalf of your great faculty and superb advisors. Yes, welcome to yet another edition of Dr. C's Corner. I'm Dr. Jeff Zarnick, Associate Dean, Department of Criminal Justice on the Social Sciences team here at Southern New Hampshire University Global. And again, I hope all is well as summer unfolds in front of us. What I've always been fascinated about, and especially since I've been involved and immersed deeply in academia and how we learn since I retired from the police department many years ago, and being in this position, I would submit to you that I really should know how people learn. And so, what I have learned over the course of time, I like sharing with everyone. That includes students, i.e., learners, and faculty alike, because many of us do not really know how we learn, and that includes ourselves. So, let me give you kind of a crude analogy. If you're going to play a sport, you need to know your position. Okay. If you're a wide receiver, you need to know how to run, you need how to catch the ball, you know how to move, and that takes practice, but you need to know who you are and are you capable of doing those things well enough with the information you're given by a coach. And that could translate to just about anything, whether you like chess, whether you like video games, what doesn't matter. There's certain levels of skill sets that you apply based upon what you know, right? And that's learning. And learning is a demonstrative activity. When you learn something, you take that information, you interpret that information, and you give it meaning to you and your life. Okay, so the more you know who you are as a learner in this role, you're really a professional if you think about it. It's incumbent upon you to know who you are as a learner. And one of those things that really affects learning is your life experiences, okay, how you've been taught, all these things wrapped together, okay, and how your brain responds to information you're given and activities you are mandated to do to demonstrate learning, right? So, what we're talking about today is schema and teaching, because this is important for faculty as well. Schema and teaching and learning. So, what is this thing, schema, right? What is it? All right, moving on to the next beautiful slide here. Schema, or schemata, plural, is the file folders. Your brain does have a filing system, whether you know it or not, between your short or a working memory and long-term memory, where you retrieve information from these folders that are in order. Some of them can get mixed up depending upon what you're doing and how you've learned and how much attention you've allocated to a particular topic. But they are the folders in your head, and they're related to specific concepts, and you can see it, experiences, right? Your experiences, especially for the adult learner, are critical to learning. So you use this schemata to help you understand what's going on, what you are experiencing in your academic studies, but also to predict what you're about to experience. What does this mean for me? You're trying to apply meaning, and every adult always wants to know, why do I have to learn this? And that's part of this package. So please understand, we do read with our brain. We think it's eyes. We go through pages, but no, it's our brain. So during the act of reading, reading is a sport when you think about it, right? Because you have to actively engage, you have to understand and interpret the language and infer meanings based upon the text that you're seeing. So you use this knowledge that's stored in your schema, your cortex, as well as your higher cognitive processes, like a computer, to create meaning within the print that you're looking at. So you create the meaning, all right? And it can mean different things for different people. I'll give you an example. When you're in a discussion board, not everyone, right, as you know, when you're looking at other students or other learners' posts, they're different, right? They see things differently. So one of the reasons for that is because of this, as I'm telling you right now. It influences the almighty thing known as attention, paying attention. You allocate attention. I've talked about this before. Attention is the amount of energy you have left over at the end of the day to really plow into and dedicate and focus on a particular activity, topic, or assignment. But your schemata influences your attention allocation. You allocate it. It's like an energy dump. If you as a reader have schemata for a topic, say Dublin, Ireland, right? It could be anything or anywhere. Those knowledge structures of what you know about Dublin, Ireland will influence the amount of attention that your brain is going to allocate, okay? The amount of time that you will devote to the aspects of the text being read, like from the author, the great author James Joyce, the book called The Dubliners. So knowing something about the topic that you already know, you already have, you're most likely going to focus on those features of the text that you deem most important. And that's critical, especially with adult learners. You need to know your reading what is key, what is critical, what is important, based on what you know about that topic and or topics. How much impact is it going to have on you? We always do that automatically and we assess that. So, functions of schema. It helps provide scaffolding for assimilation. So things are in order, right? Of assimilation of text information. It helps, again, facilitate the allocation of your energy, i.e., attention. Helps with what's known as inference collaboration. What does it mean? How do these things correlate? Also, critical, it is important when you are involved in sustained reading to memorize. You need to incorporate what you're learning into your mind. So it enhances memorization, right? And summarizing. Very, very important for recall purposes so you can apply. So what does it have to do, right, with reading comprehension? So you have schemata for everything. So long before learners, you come to school, you develop what's known as these schemata, your units of knowledge about everything you experience. It's there, it's permanent. Okay, retrieval is another story, but it's there. So schemata become theories about reality. What does this mean for you? These theories not only affect the way you process and interpret the meaning of the text in your courses, thus affecting comprehension, weaning out, whittling out, honing down, and comprehending, understanding, but also to continue to change as new information is received. And that's school, isn't it? That's college, that's university, always getting new information. And your job in this athletic sport known as, learning is to interpret it and apply meaning that's accurate, correct. Goodman, the researcher Goodman in 1994, he conceptualizes literacy processing, right? Your ability to read and find information. Processing is including reading, writing, and written text. So it's a whole soup of things, right? He states that texts are constructed by authors to be comprehended by readers. Hopefully it's clear for all of us, right? And that's very difficult. The English language can be very difficult relative to the multiple meanings words have, and you interpret that through your schemata. So written text has the potential to evoke meaning, right? But has no meaning in itself. You apply the meaning. It's not a characteristics of what you're reading. It's not going to speak out loud to you. You process it, you interpret it, and you assign meaning to it. So how effectively the author, or what we call subject matter experts, how well they construct the text and how well the reader reconstructs it and constructs meaning will influence your comprehension. You may not completely understand it or misinterpret it. That's what learning is about. So this is something to consider in relationship to the role of the teacher. All right? As a professor, an instructor, etc., okay, if what Goodman says is true, then we best serve our students when we act as a mediator, an interpreter between what has been written and what may or may not be fully comprehended. And this is extremely important. This is an exercise, this is a task that instructors in the text-only asynchronous online learning environment need to do to enhance comprehension and clear understanding what is intended. What is the intended meaning behind what is written in the course? So, here are the implications for teaching and learning. Prepare to pre-explain. That's for teachers. Same thing, you apply that as learners. You integrate new information, okay, to what you already know. You create clarity. How clear can you make it? And you emphasize the structure of content, how it builds, how it leads to the promised land, of your summative, say, assignment. And instructors and students learn to chunk the content. Don't try to tackle all the information at the same time. Utilize your brain, allocate your energy to process, okay, have a clear, unequivocal filing system where you can easily retrieve that information to apply it in a coherent manner when you're submitting your assignments. So I hope this does help. We can expand upon this. If you'd like to learn more about this, please send me an email, j.czarnec@snhu.edu. Okay, I'm more than happy to help. That's j.czarnec@snhu. To all the faculty and all our great learners here at Southern New Hampshire University Global, I want to wish you well. Have a great week. Have a great end of term. Be successful. And know this, we all have your backs.